There's going to be a book launch tonight here in Shul at 7:30 with Rabbi Chanoch Teller.
Everyone is invited.
For free.
The books won't be, but
Speakers are.
yeah. Okay, the recording is on?
Yeah, come.
Okay. Erev Tov, everyone. The Malbim and others make a point in this week's parsha. What was Yosef thinking with the whole scenario that he created? I mean, the simplest thing would have been when they came down the first time, he would have told them, listen, I'm Yosef, you're my brothers. I was right, you were wrong. Go home and bring your father here. And what was this whole drama with all the stories and everything? So a great deal of ink has been exhausted in trying to understand the depths of this story. But the point that most of the Mefarshim make is that Yosef fully expected that the brothers would recognize him. And he made really no effort to disguise who he was. In fact, in the whole narrative, he is dropping hints all the time who he is. He wants them to recognize him. So the remarkable point is the other way around. Why don't the brothers recognize him? It says in the Chumash, they were amazed. He knew their names. He knew the order of birth. So why don't they recognize him? The answer is obvious, that you don't want to recognize what you don't want to recognize. The power of the preconception that people have regarding matters, and the facts don't matter. Doesn't make a difference. Unfortunately, we are living through such a process now. He's building a tunnel 1,200 feet from the border. The tunnel is as big as the New York Metro, and nobody knows. You don't want to recognize it. Doesn't fit your narrative. And therefore, the brothers. So if you listen to the speech of Yehuda, which is the penultimate occurrence in this drama, Yehuda says it clearly. He describes the situation exactly. We were 12 brothers. We don't know what happened to him. He died. Now the younger one is here. We brought him. And he admits, he said, our father loves him more than he loves us. It's Nafsho Kshura b'Nafsho. He didn't say that about Shimon. And he said, and if we don't bring this brother back, our father will die of heartbreak. He won't be able to survive it. And therefore, somehow we have to come to an agreement. You'll take me instead of him, whatever, but we can't let this go on any longer. So the Malbim points out that Yehuda, so to speak, doesn't hear his own speech, which happens oftentimes. Happens to me many times. I don't hear what I say. He doesn't hear his own speech. If he hear his own speech, he knows it's Yosef. He's saying it with a full mouth. You told us, we brought back the money of it, everything. So, and still, they don't recognize Yosef. Even when they say it. And that's why the Torah says that Yosef could no longer hold out. Because to a certain extent, he realized it was futile. It was not going to happen. They would remain to the end of their days not recognized. They couldn't bring themselves to do so because of what that would say about them. What the radical change would have to be within them. And therefore, he wept and he revealed himself. So the Mefarshim discuss, why did he weep? That's always that way. Simple why he wept, right? Who wouldn't weep at such a situation? But the Mefarshim would say even more deeply, he wept for them. He wept for the fact that they didn't get it. After everything, they still didn't understand it. They still were willing to say, they said, well, we should have had mercy. So that's all he was entitled to, was mercy. That's not recognizing the situation. He was entitled to more than mercy. He was entitled to recognition. He was entitled to his position amongst the brothers. And they didn't understand that, and they weren't willing to grant him that. That's their struggle throughout this, is their inability somehow to see the situation and to rise above it. Chazal, the Medrash, all the Mefarshim say that the story of Yosef and his brothers is the ultimate Maaseh Avosim and Labonim. It's the ultimate story of the Jewish people. The Novi Yeshaya says, Mi iver ke'agdi mishulam. Is there anyone as blind as my servant, Mishulam, who is perfect in everything else, but he doesn't see anything in front of him? And that's why we make a bracha, Pokeach Ivrim. It's not only for those of us that have trouble seeing, Pokeach Ivrim, we have perfect 20/20 vision. but you don't see. You don't see what's in front of you. You don't see what the purpose is. So the Novi Yeshaya says, "Ba'achris hayomim," part of the messianic process is that Meshulam will start to see. He won't be such an iver anymore. And that's the story of Yosef and his brothers. He wanted that they should be able to say, "Okay, Achivrim." And we see even to the end, we'll see it in next week's parsha, that they still don't understand. They say, "Lu yistamenu Yosef." Yosef's going to hate us. So that's the process. Look over the last 100 years, over the strange twists and turns that the Jewish people have undergone. But they didn't see anything that's coming. The secularization of the Jewish people, which almost destroyed us. The belief in false gods, in crazy ideas. To an extent, we always have been our own worst enemies. The end will be chazak, we'll be strong, and we'll get over all of this. And we will be able to. But we have to appreciate the gravity of the challenge. To be able to see, even when it's against our preconceptions and our ideas, the way we were. Finally, that's what Chazal mean. That b'mokom shebalei tshuva omdim ein malachei hashoresh shecholim lamu. The greatness of a Baal Tshuva is that he was able to change his mind. He was able to change his ideas. He was able to see things differently. And that's the ultimate challenge. It's not the behavior alone, but it's the attitude and the thought process. And that's why these parts are significant to us and to our Torah and mitzvot, Shenamar, I don't know,